Hey Homeworthy, I'm Sophie and welcome to my New York City Thrifted Palace. Come on in.
You're watching Homeworthy, where we believe every home has a story. To shop items inspired by this and other Homeworthy episodes, be sure to check out the product links below for amazing furniture, accessories, and more.
My name is Sophie Braud. I am a professional dancer and choreographer in the city, and I've also recently gotten into real estate, so I'm a real estate agent as well. I have traveled across the country and been on Broadway national tours, and I've been in and out of the city the last 5 years, auditioning and traveling for work. And recently this past year, I decided to put the suitcases up and move back to New York City permanently and have a place of my own. So I am in this apartment when I moved back in this past year, March 1st. I was really looking at various different neighborhoods in New York, and I opened up the Hell's Kitchen area because I love the culture, I love the hustle and bustle of this area. I never thought I'd want to live in Midtown West area, but I absolutely love it. This little apartment is a diamond that I would never have found if I didn't open up my search. And I sometimes like to call it Southwest Central Park to make it sound a little more elevated. And so anyways, that is where my adorable little gem of an apartment is. And I would say my design style, it varies room to room. The base is French. I was really inspired by my travels to Paris last year. But French, I'd say chic, classic Parisian. The kitchen's a little eclectic, and then my bedroom is definitely has more of a traditional flair. Finding this apartment was a journey. It took about a month from the time I decided to move to the time I actually found the apartment. I moved in the winter, and so the thing about that is there's not a lot of inventory popping up, so I would wait weeks and weeks before I would even find something in my price range pop up for me to even rent. And I was back in Texas at the time. I'm from a small town in Texas, and so I wasn't here to search myself because I knew it would take so long since it was the winter season. And I had a real estate agent who I was connected to through mutual friends in the entertainment industry who was so patient with me as I was a little picky to find the perfect place. And so we did virtual tours for a month, and I was starting to get so disheartened because I would put an application in on several apartments and never got them, especially in neighborhoods that were dream neighborhoods. And so like I said, I opened up my search to Southwest Central Park, Hell's Kitchen, and this apartment came available one day. It is rent stabilized, it is such a good price, and there were so many inquiries on this apartment that they shut it down. They shut the listing down within 10 hours. I think they had 250 inquiries. And so it was serendipitous because the real estate firm was Bond, New York, and my real estate agent was from Bond, New York, and now I'm a real estate agent with Bond, New York. So I feel like the stars just aligned. God was on my side. Everything fell into place that it should have. And I was one of 20 people who got to view the apartment, and I was not even here in person. It was all virtual. And I found out the next day that I got it. So it really is it's so sweet and so divine, and it is just a little diamond. It's a 1-bedroom, and it has 3 separate rooms, which is sometimes hard to find in New York City because it's just an open room, a studio apartment with the kitchen and is in the same room as your bed, which is very common here. But in this specific apartment, I have a separate kitchen, I have a separate sitting room, and I also have a separate bedroom. And it has 3 massive closets, which is good for all my clothes and shoes. So I just feel like it was so meant to be, and it was perfect for me. All right, y'all, welcome to my kitchen. This is the first space you enter when you walk into the apartment. And I love this space because it's separate from the other rooms. It's very small, but I've done a lot of adding specific pieces to help with organization. The before pictures, this right here, this specific countertop was attached right here with L brackets. So this whole space was that countertop for chairs to go underneath. I wanted to utilize the space more for organization, so I took that off the wall, put that in a closet, and brought this piece from home, as well as this piece is so special to me. This is from my childhood kitchen back home in Texas. It was so perfect the way it worked out. My parents just happened to decide to renovate the kitchen in my childhood home back in January. And then I got this apartment at the end of February. And so I was able to bring this cabinet that I've grown up seeing my whole life with my mom's crystal in it up here to New York City to my little tiny gem of an apartment. And it is so special to me. And I feel like it elevates the space, but it also just feels like it's meant for this room. I feel like everything blends and flows together so well, even down to the original paint color that my mom had it. So this is so special to me. And I brought this piece from home. I love it because it has 4 drawers, so I can hide anything in there. It's great for organization. I've made this my little coffee bar. I can put baskets underneath for more organization. And also my parents, when they were doing their renovation, got a fabulous butcher block countertop for their island. And so the contractors back home cut me a piece for the top of this to kind of elevate this piece of furniture, and I love it. This is my favorite area of the whole kitchen. Another thing you'll notice is there's no oven in this kitchen, which is, at first I was so upset about it. It was such a downside, but my mom, thank goodness for her, she bought this toaster oven air fryer for her kitchen renovation and realized, and it's the little GE Cafe. It's so cute. She has the GE Cafe appliances when she did her renovation, and her oven that she has, the GE Cafe, does the same thing. It has air fryer and everything. So she ended up letting me have this, and it is perfect. I don't think I'm ever gonna want to bake in an oven again. You can roast a whole turkey in here. It has a cookie setting, air fryer, pizza. It's the best thing since sliced bread. I mean, everyone needs to get one of these, but I'm telling you, this has been such a little lifesaver for me. I think it's also, I have so many favorite things, but I think that's also another favorite thing. And then this island is a really great space. It's perfect for extra countertop, but you can also lift this up, and it's great for seating. And then in one of my many closets I have in this apartment, I have 2 little collapsible, you can get them at Target, 2 little collapsible bar stools. And so I bring those out here when I'm hosting and when we want to have dinner. This becomes my dining room table. So it's such a functional and flexible piece of furniture. And so it's perfect. I got it from Amazon, and it was the perfect size for this space. And another thing that I absolutely love are my fresh herbs here in the window. I really wanted to put them outside, but I wasn't able to do so because of the way my windowsill is outside. But I thought, how cute to just put them in the window. You can see them better. I love the copper accents. I love the like French country aesthetic that brings to the space. And yeah, I have never cooked with these yet, but I will. I strive to be the biggest homemaker out there. I am not at the moment, but I'm working on it, and I feel like the herbs are gonna help me achieve that. So I really love those. I think it's just very much so the vibe that I want. It also just reminds me of home. My dad has a garden back in Texas, and my mama has all her little herbs right outside the kitchen window. And so it's just very nostalgic for me. And this piece is very special to me. It was free. It was literally free. I got this in Texas, back home at the lakes. It's either Sam Rayburn or Toledo Bend. It's called the Wow Factor, and it's like in between those 2 places. They buy out storage units, and it's just all this stuff outside. It's like the mix of like a garage sale. And so this piece was left out in the rain. I was like, it was just by the fences, and I was flipping through all the art, and there was a big mirror I got, and the guy was like, ma'am, you can get this for free if you want. You can just take it. So I did. And I reframed it at Hobby Lobby, and I got a little art lamp, and now it's one of my favorite pieces of art, and it was free. So it's so special to me. I love it. I got these little TV trays from the Salvation Army. I live very close to one. It's dangerous. They know me by name. And so this came from there. I got my little TV trays. I have several, so that it's just, once again, extra seating. I feel like that's always something you're looking for in a small New York apartment, is versatility and extra seating. And so I really feel like I'm able to achieve that with these TV trays. And I can bring them all around my apartment. So and a few more things that I just love in this space are my upper cabinets. I love that I have a space. The ceilings are very tall in this apartment, and the cabinets are elongated and very tall, but I also love that I had space that I could decorate up there. And so I have my trays I brought home from Venice when I went on my trip to Italy. I am a collector of old books, and so I love that I was able to showcase my books up there. And then above this cabinet specifically, I have some very special things from just my years performing. That Oscars book up there is from the Dolby Theater. My first national Broadway tour was Jimmy Buffett's Escape to Margaritaville. And we were actually the first Broadway national tour ever to perform at the Dolby Theater. And so the Dolby Theater gifted us with those Oscars books. And so it's so special to me, and I wanted to showcase that. I feel like my kitchen is more of my eclectic artsy space, and so I thought that this was the perfect space to showcase some of my artsy things I've accumulated over the years. And I love this specific kitchen setup because it just came like this. How fabulous is this for a New York City apartment? These massive pull-out drawers that I can stick all my pots and pans in. I also have decorated the inside of my cabinets with Lazy Susans. So it's so nice for organization to get my spices through there. This was a gift. This Mackenzie Childs teapot was an apartment warming gift from my mom. She's always had a Mackenzie Childs teapot in our house in Texas growing up. And so it's so sweet to me. I feel like this was like, I've achieved homemaker status, my own place, because I have my Mackenzie Childs teapot. That's something that I've always wanted. And so she gifted that to me when I got my place. And I wanted to bake this cake anytime I host or things like that. My mom is actually obsessed with Nordic ware bundt pans. I used to bake all the time, and I don't really do it anymore, but since gotten my place, I think it's just so, every time I go home and there's an event or the holidays, Mom always has a cake baked, and I think it's so sweet and Southern and endearing and charming, and so I try to do that in New York. I don't bake often, but once again, it's like the herbs. I'm really stepping into my homemaker era. And so I just think it's so sweet and inviting and makes my guests feel so welcome. So I like to do that. And I get all my little cute crystal, all these finds, everything's thrifted. Every single thing you see is thrifted. So this came from the Salvation Army, where they know me. That's thrifted. These two items are from the Salvation Army. This is from Facebook Marketplace. It's a Williams Sonoma copper pot hanger. Facebook Marketplace. Yeah, $20 for this. It's crazy. I love to thrift. Oh, this just shows you how much I love a deal. This specific pot, I feel like, is a really good example of how much I love a deal. So this is a very expensive, I think it's called Baumelou. I'm not sure. It's a French brand. Copper saucepan with a cast iron handle. I think it's like $100 on Amazon. It was on clearance at Marshall's for $32, and I wanted it so bad because I just love the copper aesthetic. But I was like, I'm just not spending $32 on this. That's expensive. And so I went back like 3 days later, and it was clearanced even more for $16. And so I got it for 16. But that's just an example of my finds and how much I am willing to spend on things. But you know what? Patience is a virtue, and I went back and found it, and it was even cheaper. So I think it's so sweet. But that is a little bit about this space. I just love the idea of it being, it's the first place you enter when you enter the apartment. So I just wanted it to just feel so cozy and eclectic and very homey is what I wanted to achieve for my kitchen with the charcuterie boards on the wall. I really feel like I brought some of my Southern roots specifically into this space. All right, that's all for the kitchen. Now if you'd like to follow me into my sitting room, but as I like to call it, the tea room. Follow me? So something about me is I don't spend a dime on anything. It is like a passion and a pursuit of mine to find special items for as inexpensive as I can get them, and I feel like that comes from people not really realizing sometimes what they have. I shop on Facebook Marketplace. I shop estate sales, garage sales, Salvation Army. Those are some of my go-to places that I find, and various local thrift stores that I find some of my treasures. And yeah, I just feel like I have so many pieces that I've collected over the years. This apartment is made up of so many treasures just that I've just slowly collected and curated over the years. And I have gotten a lot of beautiful pieces for free and also just very inexpensive. And so yeah, I love to thrift, and I love to find fabulous and very special pieces that have a story on a dime. My mom is, as far as the design goes and how much I love interior design and thrifting and making spaces special and feel cozy for my guests, I feel like I really inherited that from my mom. She is a retired interior decorator from my small town in Texas, and she's the same way. She puts people's houses together on a dime. That's what she's been known for. And I feel like I definitely get that from her. Through the years growing up in our house, for the holidays, they would be over the top. Her and my dad used to own an adorable coffee shop and gift store, and it was like something out of a magazine. She would just always go over the top with her decor and her design, and she was just is such a great host. And I just feel like through the years growing up, being surrounded by it always being so special and looking so adorable, that I just kind of learned from her. I really feel like I learned from my mom, and she did have a hand in helping me make this place so special. And yeah, I feel like I get my design eye from her. It's just kind of a learned thing, and I've always been so interested in it. I've always been so interested in magazines. When I was little, I would flip through magazines and pull inspiration, and so this has just kind of been something I've always loved and had a passion for. And then with the help of my mom, I was able to really refine it over the years. All right, this is the tea room. This is my favorite room in the apartment. The reason we got the name the tea room is when I was hosting some of my friends, one of my friends who is from my very first national tour I did, we performed together, he came in and saw it and was like, oh my gosh, the tassels, the drama. So he said he feels like he should be served a glass of tea. He was like, this is very tea room vibes. And so the name has stuck. So this is the tea room. It is so special. The entire room was built around this coffee table. The entire room was literally inspired by this. I got this from the same place I got the free art, the place at the lake back in Texas. This is a John Richard fine furniture coffee table. Look this up. It is expensive. It was $100 at that place, and we did some wheeling and dealing, and they said it had been there for forever, and I ended up walking out with this coffee table for $50. That's 50 $50. So this is like my prized possession. I love it. It's so special. I have bought it years ago and have just been saving it for the day I got my apartment. And so I love it in here. My dad got me this coffee table book when he was working in Dallas. He also loves thrifting. He's always at the half-price bookstore. So he got me that and brought it all the way home in his suitcase. It's so heavy. I have so many just special finds in here. These candle holders are from the Chelsea Flea Market, which if you live in New York and you have not been, you have to go. There's so many good finds there. I also got this little copper bowl from the Chelsea Flea, and I love to have candies in it for guests. I want it to be so cozy and feel at home for them. And I've always loved the aesthetic of fresh flowers are everything to me. My parents love to garden. Their outdoor space back home in Texas is so comfy, and we're just outdoor people, and so I try to bring that inside to this space. And I just love the idea of a big floral arrangement. Normally I have something higher, but this table is so long and oval, and so I really like the idea of this low arrangement and it being wider and taking up a little more of the space. So I really love that. I love fresh flowers. I have my cozy little nook over here. I actually have another one of these chairs in the bedroom, so when I'm hosting, I bring the other one and I set it here and to have more seating. I have a lot of little flexible stools and seating pieces for when I have guests, but this little chair was $15 from a thrift store in Beaumont, Texas called the Treasure House. It was literally $15. Also, I'm looking at all my lights. Every single light you'll see in here, I only have 3 outlets in this entire apartment, just 3 outlets. So every single light you see in here is battery operated. So there's nothing hardwired into the wall and there's nothing plug-in. Everything is battery operated. So I have these sconces here with the battery operated candlesticks I got from Amazon. I have this little battery operated light I got from TJ Maxx. And so that is New York City apartment living, very renter friendly things, and I love that because it's easy and you just recharge them when they die. But these wall sconces I got on Facebook Marketplace. I traveled like 2.5 hours to get them, but I loved them. They were exactly what I was looking for. I wanted the chandelier effect. I wanted a mirror. It had everything. I found this fabulous mirror for $39 at the Salvation Army that I live very close to. So that is that's so dangerous. But that's also why I love this apartment, is because I live right next to a Salvation Army. So this mirror came from there. All these little books are so special to me. They are from Etsy, which is a great place to find antiques or just very special, unique gifts for people. But my mom got these for me for Christmas. They are French books, and they're like French theater books, which is so special because I dance professionally and do theater, so those were really, really special to me. And then I have so many little knickknacks and artifacts and art from all of my travels as of recently in the past 3 years. And so when I went to Pisa, I just loved it and wanted to get me a little leaning tower. I thought it's so cute and it fits this space perfect. Over here, I have this curio cabinet that was, I think I spent like $25 on it or something. I mean, it was such a good deal. And I got this at a garage sale back in Texas when I was deciding to move back. And I had a vision for this, to put all my bags in it. That was the vision, that was the dream. I wanted just all my bags in the curio, but unfortunately, we could not get the mothball smell out. We tried everything. We tried vinegar, baking soda, everything. It did not work. So anyways, I just decorated it instead with some of these little designer books that were 10 cents a book from the Treasure House in Beaumont, Texas, the same place I got my little green chairs. But I got all my little designer books. Once again, fresh flowers. They just make it so sweet in here. And I have these mirrors, I would say, are 2 of my favorite things. I have so many favorite things in this apartment, but just things I've collected. But these mirrors I got from my travels. I brought this home from Venice. When I went to Venice, I just wanted to come back. When I went to Italy, I just wanted to come back with a mirror. That was my whole goal. I want to come back with a mirror. And so we actually, the whole trip was taken for my cousin's wedding. She got married in the UK. And I'll never forget, the Uber driver was like, what are you most excited about for Italy or for the trip in general? And I was like, getting a mirror. And he was like, how are you gonna bring it home? But it's little, it fit in the carry-on. But this is just so special to me. It's an antique, and it's just exactly what I envisioned that I wanted. And I was able to find it on the last day, truly like right before we left. So that was so special. And then this little easel mirror I got from Lyon when I went to France at the little antique market there. I forget the name of what it's called in Lyon, but I got this there. And I got it for $20. And then I went to Arles in the south of France when we continued our travels, and I saw this exact mirror for like $180 in an antique store. So a steal. And then this is a little drawer pull that my mom got when we went to Siena. And there was a little antique market in Siena, and it was a girls' trip with my mom and aunt and I, and Mom surprised us with this. She bought it, we didn't know, but we opened it last Christmas, and she said that she's been holding it. This is what she bought for us in Italy. And I just think it's such a cute little piece of decoration. I think it's so special. And my little bust, this is one of my favorite things. I got this in Pisa. Outside of the Leaning Tower, there's all these little like shops, and yeah, it's just a big, almost like outdoor gift shop in a way, but they had just buckets and buckets of these little busts. And I liked this one specifically. It was the display. I liked it because it was dirty. I liked how dirty it looked because it looked more antique. So I walked out with that, $2, a steal. And yeah, this is where I keep all my jewelry. This is kind of like my little like glam station next to my closet, which this is a massive closet space for a New York City apartment, by the way. Also, if you look at the uppers, I mean, this is so much storage, which is a necessity because just like I like thrifting furniture, I also like thrifting clothes and shoes and everything else. So I need that. But moving over here to my sweet little reading nook, when I was finding an apartment, it was all virtual tours, and I didn't even realize that this apartment had a reading nook. This was such a surprise when I got up here and was like, what did I just sign my lease on? This was such a surprise. I did not even remember seeing this. And so I had my contractors actually, who were renovating my parents' house right before I moved, they actually drove up there. He drove up here with his wife and helped me move into this apartment. And his wife just happened to be a seamstress. And so I went to go pick out fabric, and she made this custom bench seat for me for this reading nook. And it was just so special to see everyone helping me move in this tiny apartment, and everyone utilizing their own specific God-given set of skills. And it was just so sweet to see her on my little tiny kid's sewing machine making this bench seat. So this is very special to me. And these are pieces of art from my travels to Italy. It's always important to me to get a local piece of art anytime I travel. So this is Pisa. The middle one is Venice. And the top one is the Siena Cathedral. And then this light I love because it really brings in the colors of the coffee table, and then also this pillow here. But this is just a wall sconce that is supposed to be hardwired. But I'll show you. I just have a little magnetic rechargeable light that I just put in it. And it's so renter friendly and convenient. And yeah, I love this wall sconce. It's just, I really feel like it just brings the space together. It really incorporates the black even up on the wall. And I love the velvet. I really wanted to bring velvet. I love the idea. This is just so inspired by when I was in Paris, but I love the idea of different textures and different prints and different patterns. It's like the more the merrier for me. And so I really wanted to bring in a little bit of velvet here. And then once again, I love the idea of a window box. I really wanted to have a window box outside, but it's just not possible with my ledge. And so I saw this acrylic vase and thought that was a perfect way to bring the window box aesthetic on the inside. And so I really love this. I love filling it with fresh flowers. And I think it's so chic and glam, and I just love pops of color. And I just really think it just ties in the look that I really love. I love it to be classic and antique, but I also love to bring the glam and the chic vibe into the space. And so I feel like those roses in the acrylic box help me achieve that. My design style changes often. I feel like over the years, it has been a little more contemporary back like in my childhood bedroom. In my real estate office back in Texas, I had a standalone office. It was a lot more contemporary than it is now, but in recent years, about 3 years ago, I went to Europe for the first time, and my eyes were just opened. I was just so overwhelmed with the beauty of the architecture and the interiors, and it was just, it just was so incredible to go and experience something that is so different than what I've grown up seeing, I feel like, in the United States my whole life as far as architecture and design style goes. And so this specific apartment, it's always been my dream to have my own place in New York. And I feel like this specific apartment, I wanted to really go all in with the Parisian antique classic interiors, and that was really inspired by my last trip to Paris. I feel like I was always in an interior design museum, just pulling so much inspiration. I just loved the look. I loved how chic and timeless it was, and I was like, I'm gonna do this. This is gonna be my next apartment, but it's gonna be on a dime. And so I really feel like I've pulled a lot of inspiration from my trips to Europe, and it has come out exactly how I wanted it to. So I'm really happy with the result. So when I was finally putting my suitcases up from touring and traveling across the country with my professional dance career, it was finally time for me to get a place of my own. And the most exciting thing about that was to be able to host my friends and host visitors and guests, and I love the idea of getting to host. And I have a cake that I baked in the kitchen right now. I have candies on the coffee table. I just love making it special for others. I think it's just the Southern hospitality, the Southern way. That's definitely how my mom is, and she is the ultimate homemaker, and so I aspire to be like that one day. And so I think my favorite thing, I'll never forget when I first moved into this apartment, it's very small and it's very full of furniture. And so I have a few air mattresses for when I do host family members and when I do have friends come. And so the first thing I was doing was figuring out where I was gonna put all the furniture so that I could host everyone. And so I think my favorite thing about having a place of my own is making it special for other people when they come to visit. That is like really a passion of mine, and I always want people to walk through my door and kick off their shoes and just feel right at home. So welcome to my bedroom. I feel like this is such a cozy, inviting space, which is not the original intention I had. When I was designing in my head the apartment that I wanted, I really wanted a dark and moody bedroom with a lot of prints and a lot of patterns, and I was seeing that, but I ended up totally flipping last minute to something white and cozy and airy, and I'm so happy I went in that direction this time. But a little bit about the space, as you can see, it's a little more traditional than some of my other rooms, I feel like, but I have so many special pieces in here. This piece in particular came from the Salvation Army I live close to. Whoops. And I got it for such a great deal. It's actually a changing table, but I was able to buy it and they let me take the changing table off. It was just able to be unattached. And so I just think it's perfect. It fits the space perfect, and it's great for extra storage. And it was just a find that I stumbled on, and that's what happens when you go to these thrift stores. You'll never know what you'll walk out with, but it was so special to me. This book in particular is probably one of the most special things in my entire apartment, and I didn't realize it until recently, actually, but I thrifted this book at the Treasure House, the same place I thrifted my 10-cent designer books and my little green chairs. But it is a book of Madeleine Vionnet, and it has all of her patterns. She was a famous designer, and she curated a lot of the fashion in the 20s, and it has her patterns. It's all in Japanese, and I believe if I have this correct, I saw this on the Cherish website, that the Metropolitan Museum of Art has the only book that is translated in English that's exactly like this. They're all in Japanese, and the Metropolitan Museum of Art has the only one that's in English. However, a few years later, it was manufactured with an English manuscript in the back, and this one that I bought has the English manuscript, which I think is just so special. This book, I feel like, is iconic. I did not even really realize when I was buying it. I think they had it for like $350 in the thrift store, and I was like, oh, I'm not gonna pay that, because I just didn't know anything about it, and I didn't know how special it was at the time. And, you know, I was talking to the guy for a while, and he said that it's been there for years and years and years and would cut me a deal. So I don't exactly remember how much I paid for it, but I know it was not more than $150. So the fact that I have this deluxe edition Madeleine Vionnet book that I got for $150 is just so special to me. I just love that there's just special finds that have stories with them. That just brings me so much joy, and this one in particular does that, especially because I love fashion, and I love I love fashion and design and jewelry and all that. So this was really special. And I also saw years ago when I went to Restoration Hardware, I go in there and I get ideas for my space, and then I replicate them on a budget. But I saw that they had just a massive open book laid open on a desk with a task lamp over it, and I loved the simplicity, and I loved the look of that, so I wanted to replicate that here, and I truly love the look. And this is a TV. It is not a Samsung frame TV. It is none of that. It is just a regular old smart TV, and my dad is a fabulous woodworker. He has so many hobbies, and he made me this frame. We went to Home Depot together when I was back in Texas and got all these trim pieces. He made this frame for $68. So no, this is not expensive. This was not thousands and thousands of dollars. It is just a regular old TV that we got on sale on Black Friday with a $68 frame my dad made. So I love it. I just think it just elevates this space so much. I love the look of it, and I love how chunky and gaudy it is. I really like that style. Speaking of my dad woodworking and making that, he also made me this precious mantle. My dad made me this for my college home, and it was purple and gold at the time. I had a totally different design aesthetic, but I repainted it, and it was just back home in storage, and I think it made him feel so special when I wanted to bring it back up here when I finally got a space of my own all these years later, knowing that I still wanted to use it. I think made him feel really special, but I just love it. I think it fits this space perfect. I've always envisioned having a mantle in my apartment with a double stack mirror and candelabras. This is the vision I've had for so long, and so it was so just dreamy for me to get to achieve that finally. But I just love this space. These little crystal candelabras I saw on Facebook. There was an estate sale back home in Texas, and it was a company who put on the estate sale, and she posted pictures of a lot of the things that they were selling, and there was a table full of crystal. I mean, you couldn't see what from what, but my eye immediately went to these two things, these two candelabras. I had to have them, but I was never going to be available at the time during the estate sale hours, so she gave me her phone number. We messaged on Facebook, and I was able to go to her house and pick these up. So a lot of work went into getting these, but it was worth it. I love the double stack mirrors. This one's just from Hobby Lobby, and this one is from an antique store in Lafayette, Louisiana. That mirror I loved it when I saw it. I did not get that one wasn't thrifted, but I just loved it, and I had to have it, and I really think that it fits this space perfectly with the double stack look. And then I thrifted all 3 of these Chanel books, $20 a piece, and the top one was 10 cents. So proud of that. And then also this little door knocker my mom got from Italy. And I have a nail here because I hang wreaths around the holidays. I used to do that when this was in my college home. So it was just perfect to put the door knocker there for now. And I always love the look of the curtains going all the way to the ceiling. I just feel like the space grows, and the ceilings are tall in here, but I've always loved elongating the room, and I feel like bringing the curtains all the way up really achieves that. At first I was not too keen on these curtains, but the more I kept decorating the space and having patience with it as it all came together, I love it. I think it's exactly what I wanted. This little task lamp is a dupe for the Restoration Hardware ones. I got this on Amazon. I love the look of that. This little French chair with a duck feather bottom we got on Facebook Marketplace back in Texas. This pillow my mom needle pointed and fabric markered. She made this. Growing up, she would always encourage my brother and I to bring handmade gifts to birthday parties when we were little. And so I have made many of these pillows throughout my lifetime. I would fabric marker little pillows and put a bead trim, and that would be gifts to my friends growing up. And so Mom made this, and apparently this is my brother and I. I don't see the resemblance there, but I think it's sweet, it's nostalgic, and it's always been in the house, and so I wanted to bring that up to New York, and she let me have it. So I love that little pillow, and this is also great because it's extra seating. So when I have guests to entertain, I can just carry this chair anywhere. And I also have these little stools, which are lightweight and easy to bring around the apartment, and they're cozy. And so this serves as extra seating if we want to meet in the tea room and chat there. But I actually recovered these years ago with this fabric. I just stapled it to the bottom. I recovered these cushions, and I just painted this. So it was a dark wood, and this was a maroon satin fabric, and so I really wanted to lighten it up, and I just feel like it fits the space perfect. So I love those little stools that I can just bring all around my apartment. As far as my bed goes, this is such a statement piece. It's such a statement pillow. I actually had a headboard that my mom made me for my college home years ago that I brought up here to use in this space. It was navy blue, and so it didn't fit my design aesthetic now, but I went to go buy this fabric, and oh, I felt so bad. My mom and aunt worked so hard to recover that in this apartment, and it had the nail head trim and everything. It's so ornate and was not easy to recover. And we put it up on the wall to see what it looked like, and I hated it, and I felt so bad. I was like, I messed up. I picked the fabric. It looks horrible. I just did not like it. It wasn't the vision that I had, which sometimes that happens. Sometimes you have a vision and it doesn't work out, and it's okay to change it. So we went ahead and carried that to the Salvation Army, donated it there for someone else who may love it and be able to use it in their space. But we had a little bit of leftover fabric, and my contractor's wife, who was here, who's the seamstress, made me a bolster pillow. And then we just got these tassels from Amazon, and I hand stitched them to either side. And how fab is this pillow? It's just made out of extra scrap fabric. And so I absolutely love that. I got these pillows from HomeGoods. I love the idea of the peacock look. I just love the print. This is exactly what I wanted and envisioned. These lights, once again, are remote controls, so there's no hard wiring, there's no cords. The bulbs come out and you can recharge them. They're so easy. Got them on Amazon, love those. And then when I finally was like, what headboard do I do now after this one didn't work out, I found this on Walmart for 85 bucks. Cheap, cheap, cheap. So I love the look of it. I think that it's feeling a little more French country in here. But I love the look. This isn't what I was going for, but I really love that headboard in this space. And then as far as, I have another closet in here, even more storage, which is amazing for a tiny New York City apartment. You don't always find that. So I love the fact that I have even more storage in this space. And then over here by the closet, I have my desk that I use to put my makeup on, but there's many drawers, and I can also use it for my real estate work, and I got it for 10 bucks. I got that desk for $10 and just repainted it and freshened it up. So that is such a fun find for me. And I got my little chair, my little velvet chair from the Salvation Army that they know me at, and I got such a good deal. I think I got it for, I don't remember, maybe like $34. I can't exactly remember, but it swivels, and I feel like it was just made for that little desk. And so it was such a fun find when I found it. And yeah, I feel so cozy and relaxed when I'm in this space, and I'm really glad I went with just the light mood and interior here. And I always love when I get to curl up in bed at night and put an ambiance with a crackling fire on my TV, and is a way to wind down. And yeah, this is the vibe that I wanted to create for this room. Just cozy, homey, and ultimate comfort after a long day. Okay, and something else I love is my desk area over here. This desk I got at a garage sale in Texas for $10, and I just repainted it. It has so many drawers for storage. I use this. This is where I get ready. This is where I do my makeup. And it's also where I bring out my laptop and I get a little bit of work done with my real estate. It's so nice. I love this area. And I got this little chair from the Salvation Army in my neighborhood that is dangerous. And I don't remember how much I spent. I want to say it was like $34 or something, but I just thought that the mustard was just going to be perfect to pull out all my golds and bronzes, and I love the tassels, and it swivels. It's just so adorable. I think it just looks like it's made for this space. I love it. And I also love, as you see, I have more closet space in here. This apartment is like a dream for closet space. This is not normal for New York City to have 3 closets in a New York City apartment. So I just hit the jackpot with this place, with all the storage that I'm gonna be able to have for when I decorate for seasonal decoration. I have so much storage for my Christmas trees and all my fun things to make it special. But yeah, I love this space. I love the size of the bedroom. I was really able to have a desk and have a place I can do my makeup, have a mantle, have 2 nightstands, have extra seating. So I was just really fortunate to find this gem of an apartment in which I'm able to make it exactly what I wanted it to be. So it's so cozy, and this bedroom is just so nice to curl up and get cozy after a long day. Home to me is a place where someone can come in and feel so comfortable, feel at peace. It's a place you can spend with people you love. It is a place where you are comfortable and welcome and warm and cozy, and just a place where you are just truly happy and joyful. And so if I can do that for anyone who walks through these doors, I've accomplished my mission. Well, Homeworthy, it's been great having you. You're welcome anytime to the Thrifted Palace, and I'll just see y'all next time. Bye.
Thanks for watching. Be sure to go to homeworthy.com for exclusive content, shopping guides, and so much more.